Rome, around the year 100. The empire is near the height of its power. Aqueducts cross the countryside. Marble temples rise above the streets. The city is wealthy, crowded, and astonishingly alive, but for an ordinary resident, surviving a single day means negotiating a chain of small risks. The building above you may be unstable. A cart can crush you in a narrow lane. A workshop can poison the air. Fire can move faster than help. And after sunset, the safest street is often the one you avoid. So let us spend 24 hours in ancient Rome, not with an emperor, but with a man who owns almost nothing. If he makes every decision correctly, he may live to see tomorrow. Before sunrise, he wakes on an upper floor of an insula, a multi-story apartment block packed with tenants and ground-floor shops. The room is cramped. Light enters through a small opening. Water must usually be carried upstairs, and every additional floor makes daily life harder. The first danger is the building itself. Roman writers complained about cracked walls, timber props, fires, and collapses. Their satire exaggerates for effect, but the anxiety was real. Upper structures could include timber, patched masonry, and cheap repairs. The poorest tenants often had the farthest route to safety. He listens before standing. A groan in the beams may mean nothing, or it may mean the landlord has postponed one repair too many. He takes the stairs carefully and reaches the street. The first hazard of the day is behind him, for now. Rome wakes loudly. Shop shutters rise. Bakers pull round loaves from their ovens. Porters shoulder baskets. Pedestrians compete for space with mules, carts, and hand-carried loads. The streets are not empty avenues framed by white marble. Many are narrow, uneven, and crowded. A driver cannot stop a heavy cart instantly. A loose roof tile can fall without warning. So can rubbish or dirty water from an upper window, a danger sharp enough to become a joke in Roman literature and a problem in Roman law. A resident keeps close to the wall, then thinks better of it. Too close, and something may fall from above. Too far out, and he meets the wheels. In Rome, even walking requires strategy. Breakfast is simple: bread, perhaps olives or fruit, and wine mixed with water. For many city residents, food comes from a shop or street counter because a flame inside a cramped upper apartment adds one more risk. The bread is dense and practical. The wine is not a luxury. Mixing it with water is normal Roman practice. He eats quickly. Hunger is dangerous, but so is being late for work. For the majority, Rome's splendor rests on physical labor. At the river and warehouses, men unload amphorae and sacks. In building sites, laborers climb wooden scaffolds and guide stone with ropes and cranes. In mills, bakeries, tanneries, metal shops, and fulleries, the air can be filled with dust, smoke, heat, fumes, and noise. There is no modern safety rail, respirator, or emergency department waiting nearby. A frayed rope, a shifting block, a kick from an animal, or a moment of exhaustion can end the day permanently. Even cleaning clothes is unpleasant work. Fullers use alkaline substances, including collected urine, to treat fabric. In bakeries, millstones turn for hours. At some sites, animals power them, and enslaved people perform the hardest labor. Ancient Rome is an engineering marvel, but its machines are driven by muscle, and muscle is replaceable. Our resident survives the morning by moving carefully, watching the foreman, and never standing beneath a suspended load. That sounds obvious. In a city under constant construction, it is also a daily discipline. After work, the public baths offer warmth, exercise, conversation, and relief. The sequence varies, but a bather may change clothes, exercise, pass through warm and hot rooms, scrape oil and sweat from the skin with a strigil, and finish in cooler water. The baths are one of Rome's great social institutions. They are not simply filthy death traps. Many were carefully designed, supplied with water, heated from below, and maintained by workers. But they are crowded public spaces. Floors are wet, furnaces are hot, personal belongings can disappear. Cuts and skin problems do not benefit from shared surfaces and dense crowds. Beneath the elegant rooms lies the hypocaust, hot air moving under raised floors and through wall spaces. Behind it, workers feed the furnace in punishing heat. The beauty above depends on dangerous labor below. Our man keeps his sandals on where he can, watches his footing, and pays attention to his clothing. He leaves cleaner, calmer, and still in possession of his tunic. In Rome, that counts as success. By late afternoon, crowds flow toward the amphitheater. The event is more than violence. It is politics, spectacle, social ranking, gambling, and mass emotion. Tens of thousands of people may move through corridors, stairways, and seating sections. The arena floor hides machinery. In the Colosseum's developed underground system, trapdoors and lifts can raise performers, scenery, and animals into view. What appears magical to the audience depends on crews working ropes, capstans, cages, and platforms below. For a spectator, the greatest immediate danger may be the crowd itself, a shove on steep steps, a quarrel over a bet, or a thief working through tightly packed bodies. The people in the arena face a different world entirely. Gladiators are trained professionals, not random prisoners pushed into chaos, but the performance is still built around real injury and death. Our resident keeps one hand on his small coin pouch. He watches the exits as carefully as the arena. When the crowd surges, he lets it pass. At dusk, lamps are lit. Ovens, braziers, workshops, and household flames continue to burn inside a city of tightly packed buildings. This is the hour when a minor accident can become a neighborhood disaster. Smoke appears above a shop. Someone shouts. Buckets arrive, then hooks, axes, ropes, and blankets. Rome has vigiles, a combined night watch and fire service organized under Augustus, but narrow streets and limited equipment make every response difficult. Fire does not need to consume solid masonry to destroy a building. Roof timbers, floors, shutters, furniture, stored goods, and interior partitions provide fuel. Heat weakens what the flames leave behind. A collapse may follow the fire itself. Our resident does not run upstairs for possessions. He moves away from the facade, covers his mouth, and follows the open route. The tunic on his body may be everything he owns by morning, but he is alive, and in this moment, that is the only calculation that matters. Night changes Rome. There is no system of bright public street lighting. Shops close behind heavy wooden shutters. Wealthy pedestrians may travel with servants carrying lamps or torches. Everyone else depends on a small flame, moonlight, memory, and luck. Roman writers describe thieves, drunken groups, falling objects, and sudden violence. Satire makes the city sound almost impossibly dangerous, but darkness unquestionably increases uncertainty. A familiar lane can become a corridor of blind corners. The vigils patrol as both watchmen and firefighters. Their presence helps, but they cannot illuminate every street or prevent every crime. Our resident avoids noise, chooses the wider route, and keeps his lamp low enough to protect the flame. At last he climbs another narrow staircase. The room is still standing. He checks the lamp, keeps it away from cloth and straw, and lies down. Rome has allowed him one more day. Ancient Rome was not a machine designed to kill its residents. Millions of ordinary routines ended safely, and the city offered water systems, food markets, baths, entertainment, work, and community on a scale unmatched in its world. But those achievements came with risks modern cities have learned to hide or control. Unstable housing, open flames, unprotected labor, crowded streets, and darkness after sunset. Rome's greatness was real, so was its fragility. If you survive 24 hours, tomorrow you would wake before dawn and do it all again.